Okay, I don't know what just happened. It just sort of. Am I back? Let's see. Yeah, looks like I'm back. Odd. Okay, I don't know what just happened. It just sort of. Am I back? Let's see. Okay, looks like I'm back. I don't know what that was. Anyway, so just in case for folks, I am backtesting using Thinkorswim's on-demand feature, which is great because it literally does it tick by tick. And it actually, you can actually sort of backtest and forward test at the same time. It's really weird. Anyway, so I'm backtesting August 5th from 2024. I don't, beyond just looking at what the daily was looking like, I've just specced out the 15-minute high and the 15-minute low. And there's news at 10 o'clock that occurred at that time. So now I'm just waiting to see if I see my setup showing up. So 10 o'clock came, we smashed through the highs. I want to see, and now I'm looking for a shift so that I can get back in. Also testing out a concept where if a fair value gap forms here and a fair value gap forms on the other side, then the entry should be at, if there's a longer order block, at the base, and with the expectation that they're not going to really want to get back into this really balanced price range here. So just checking to see, just waiting to see. Um, this is a really cool way to backtest, like super helpful, honestly, really helpful. I didn't know they had it, and I've been sleeping on it for like the entire year. And where are we in August? 8 months that I've had the platform. Right, Maddie? Sleeping on it. So I'll be backtesting this way. I gotta break the habit of waiting for my setup and then not taking my setup. So now I'm literally, it's 10 o'clock. I'm bearish for the most part on this day. We've been going down. I want to see if they give me some sort of shift in structure. I'm going to take the active trader off for now. I'm waiting for a shift in structure, and then we'll see if I can get in on this action. I'm going to keep it simple. Sweep, shift, enter. That's all. Right, Maddie? Sweep, shift, enter. That's all. Cute Kitty is just adorable on my lap. I swear, you guys, I don't know what to say about the kidder. But this is good practice for me because I have the worst time missing out on good trades. Literally waiting all day for it and then just not taking it. Like, I gotta get out of my own way. I just have to get out my own way. That's all. So we're just gonna do this thing and then we'll pick another day and do it. So once this is done, we'll nip to the afternoon on this day, and then we'll pick another random day and continue backtesting the strategy. Kitty, why must I hold you up? You're so adorable. Seriously. All right, so still just waiting for a shift. See what they want to do. They got to make some structure for me. So we're at like 10:05. So things that I tend to think about in the mornings, like I find that the setup is probably well sorted once a little bit prior to 10 o'clock, and then whenever it gives me an entry by like 10:04 or 10:03, that works really well. If I have to wait until after, hey, Coach Carter, how's it going? Enjoy the rugby yesterday? Yeah, if I tend to wait until after 10:30, 10:45, then sometimes the entries just aren't as good. So I'm waiting for a shift. We've taken some buy side, so I'm waiting for them to show me what's up. I am doing great. I have a kitty on the lap. who who is like super comfy, and I'm holding her up because she wants to lay this way. Maddie, say hi. Say hi to Coach Carter. So the adorableness is real. And I am testing out the Thinkorswim on-demand backtesting tool, which is great because it actually paints the candles as they were the day of. So I'm testing out August 5th at 10 a.m. 2024 to do this backtesting. So pretty cool. I didn't realize that they had this feature, so I'm kind of excited. Nice, nice. Win in the bag. Love it, love it, love it. That's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed the rugby and took care of business. Is that cool? Business. I don't know. I always say random things. All right, we're waiting for some structured form here. I am waiting for a shifty shift. Ah, come on. And I'm hoping to also train myself to hold the trade to down here. And actually, while we're at it, I've been meaning to make a template in the Thinkorswim platform that is just my set my entry and set my stop, and not put the TP in there so I can like manage the stop. I don't know if I really even need all that, if I'm being honest with you. So they're reclaiming all of this, not really giving me anything to work with per se. Let's see here. Gotta be patient. That's the thing, man. Just gotta be patient. And I'm making sure not to backtest any days that I've recently traded because that's not really helpful. I need days where I haven't touched anything. So I'm just marking this out so I can recognize it. So we're just reclaiming all of this and not really giving me a shift. I also sometimes wonder if whenever we've also taken these highs out, if I could just take the entry. Like sometimes if you look at the 30 seconds, Thinkorswim doesn't have 30 seconds, but if they did, then I would drop to the 30 seconds, see if they create like a little fair value gap in here, then maybe take that. Because that was originally what I was enjoying taking at one point, and then I would already be sort of in on this move down already. But I'm inherently bearish on this particular day. Just as I'm watching the price action prior to this, it's just been like a slow grind down, and they haven't quite taken out the lows. So what I'm hoping for is a shift in structure that would help me get down to where I need to go. I need them to make some sort of structure here for me. Right now, they're just rebalancing this whole thing. Like, if you had this scenario, how would you trade this, Coach Carter? 'Cause I'm not very good at the market ordering. Because I don't know, early on when I would market order, it would literally make me feel like a small amount of panic because I didn't have a stop in place. And what if it ran away, you know? It's also another way to um, work through my entries as well, if I'm being honest. All right, so we took the highs, the 10 o'clock news went by for this day. I don't think there's any more news. Let me double check for this day. Nope, nothing else exciting for August 5th, 2024. And sometimes I wonder how to get comfortable getting into these, just hitting the market more. This is the 1 minute actually. So they just took out like a 15-minute high on August 5th, 2024 at 10 a.m. with the news. And this is the 1 minute time frame. And I'm hoping to get something that would allow me to take a short down to the lows. This would be London lows. So I'm waiting for something juicy. Because right now all it's done is sort of just rebalanced this fair value gap that they made just before the news. The other option is they've left this open, left that open, left that open. If they drop below here, then I will attempt a short from here, like a proper strong close potentially. It's not my favorite type of setup, and not gonna lie, sometimes I lose. And I'm doing this without trading view on the other side so I can like spec out the potential entry. I also don't know if there's any new day opening gaps, new week opening gaps, none of that in this fake space that they've created. So what we have, this candle is only 15, it's not even 30 seconds in, so I gotta wait for it to close because sometimes it looks really juicy, honestly, but while it's forming, but then it closes, the entire opposite of what I'd like. So I gotta wait for this to close. Looks like, oh, the time is wrong. Oh, I guess it's today's time. Up top. I'm not getting the exact closure. I was looking up in the top right corner with the time format I normally check through, and that was wrong. Quickly check the 1 hour high and low and highlight it on your chart. All right. So I highlighted the 15-minute highs and lows for this one. So I think this one just created a new set. So I have the 1 hour low. That's what I'm aiming for. If they give me a short, and this was the 1 hour high, which was this is the 15-minute high. So let's snip back and see if we get a break. Because they did not give me a shift yet. Let me pull this, zoom in. Did not give me a shift yet, which is unfortunate. I'd like to see, because if they leave this open, leave that open. So we have the 1 hour, and luckily it coincided with the 15 minutes high and low at the same time. Sorry, kitty. Man, you are getting a little heavy. You are 5 pounds now. All right, let's see what they do. Because they've been dropping, and I could be wrong. And sometimes when I get locked in on a particular bias, I miss out on good trades too. So we'll see. Now, my thoughts here, because I mean, that's kind of stretching it. I prefer if they closed properly under here. I'd prefer that. Yeah, I was looking for a shift as well. Yeah. So we didn't really get that. We didn't get it. So I would need a strong second stage shift from here to consider an entry. So they would have to break these lows strongly, not no weak lame candles. I need a strong down close candle. Also, if they're willing to stay below the 50% of this fair value gap, that will also make me feel more comfortable about the short as well. So just waiting to see if they're going to continue up, in which case I don't have a setup because now I'd have to wait for them to go for more liquidity. But they did close above this pretty strongly, so I really don't think that it's necessary for them to come back up and sweep it one more time just to drop. But who the heck knows, man? Who knows anything about what the market's gonna do? They're just gonna do what they're gonna do, right? Oh my God, my legs are cramping with this kitty on it being cute, and I don't want to move her. Maddie, do you mind if I adjust you a little bit so my legs aren't like super cramping? Swear to God, kitties. So honestly, this behavior now makes me feel like they might want to continue up, but it's not my setup. So I can't take it. I won't take it. I'm trying my best. In order to have consistency, I have to be able to follow the process. And if I can't follow the process, then I won't become profitable. So this is amazing because the fact that I can watch it print as it printed that day, it saves me a ton. I don't know, it just makes me feel so much more comfortable. So where are we time wise? It's like 10:17. So still within a decent space. We're at the halfway point. Honestly, this is where I would want to take a sell right here. If we close below this green candle, because I like the way they tapped, I like the way they tapped into this, but didn't dig in. We're on the 1 minute right now. So we're forward, we're back testing slash kind of forward testing. No, don't get on the desk, baby girl. You're good. We're careful, careful. Kitty is in motion. Right? Yeah. Oh, she popular girl. Okay, so we're back testing. So this is August 5th, 2024. We're on the 1 minute. So what I want to see right now for a short, I want them to reject this space right here. They tapped into this, rejected. I need them to drop. If they're not going to do that, they're probably going to go back up further. So I'm waiting to see. Because I think the overall sentiment at this point in time last year was bearish from the 1 hour. Sorry, the daily. Let's take a look at the daily since they're popping up. I also have a thing about, so this is the daily candle that's forming on this day. What I'm expecting is for them to sweep this low down here. They haven't done it yet. So there's still liquidity down here to run for. So let me just duplicate this. Okay. And let's nip back down to the 1 minute because I'm looking for a reason to go short. I'm looking for them to give me a reason. They have not. They've swept liquidity, but there's been no shift. So when there's no shift, they'll continue up. So I'm waiting for a reason. So for this, literally trying to build patience. And also, I'm so happy I discovered this on Thinkorswim because I have to use this because of work. It's like literally the only trading platform I'm allowed to use and keep my job. So getting comfortable with the sheer number of clicks I have to run through to get to my limit orders is something I gotta get comfortable with. All right, so looks like we're still continuing up. So yeah, we're gonna like, if I was bullish, um, if I was bullish, then with this particular structure, then I would have attempted an entry here after this sweep up right here. Or actually with this propulsion block, I would have taken it here. But they've already taken liquidity. No, it's not sped up at all. Isn't that cool? I didn't know that Thinkorswim could do that, right? Like they have this on demand. So if you have a live account with Thinkorswim, if you have an on demand, so you have to have a live account, one, then you have to have the Thinkorswim app. Then you log into your live trading account, and then they have an on demand feature that you can click, and then you can select any day in any year and trade it like it's live. Isn't that cool? So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna let it play out like it would play out like any trading day for me. So I'm gonna try. So I'm gonna be here for a while if you guys are okay with that, because I'm gonna let it flow the way it normally would flow, so that I can deal with my anxieties and my stress around trying to actually get, waiting for my setup and then putting an entry in. And then once like 11 o'clock on this day hits, I'm gonna go to the afternoon. And then between 1:45 and 3, do it again. And then pick another day. So it's gonna be a long session if you guys are cool to hang out and watch for a little bit. and talk through the process. I mean, my process is simple. Just gotta have a sweep, we gotta have a shift, and we just need to get in. Yeah. The part that I'm really bad at is I'm good at the waiting. I the setup comes up and then I don't enter. And then I miss out on so many good trades. It's frustrating. Okay, they've rebalanced this thing. I'm gonna get rid of it because I don't want to like get too hung up on particular fair value gaps. But I will highlight this one, this bearish one, just to see how they behave inside of it. There was a point where I was literally taking, so if I was bullish, then like I said, I would have taken this. But again, only if we hadn't gotten to the liquidity I was already expecting them to go to. Because they've already gotten to the liquidity, my only consideration now is how they behave in this space. I'd prefer a shift, but I'm also trying to work through my fears around taking the potential entries that make sense. So for example, this fair value gap, they've tapped into the order block here. So right now, I like this reaction. We've rejected out of it. My thought right now is to sell right here. What is going on with these limit orders? Why can't I thought I could use my orders in here. So I tried to put it in on a short. What is it doing? Okay, so at this point, the margin requirement for this was 32, 385. So this is where I would have said, okay, I would love to take the short here, and they would run away. But it doesn't look like this wants to let me. Can I not take fake orders on demand? It's not, because it canceled it. Virtual sold. Yes. And then, huh, weird. Yes, this is literally where I would take, and we're in the 10 o'clock time frame. Yeah, right now it's August 5th, about 10:24 a.m. Yes, real good practice right now. But you see what I just did? I tried to put in an order for what my entry wasn't exactly right. Right? It's not my exact setup, right? But it's a juicy potential setup for a continuation down. Hmm. Yeah, it's really good practice. I just don't understand why I can't set the order in here. Weird. They give me fake money. Huh. They give me fake money. I want to set an order at the base of this fair value gap. I do. But I shouldn't because why? It's not my setup. But I want to take it, right? It's still, technically, this is still very bullish. You see what they did, right? They rolled to this order block and then they reverse nicely. If they take this high out, they're going to continue up higher. At this point, I got to wait. Here's my problem. At 10:25, I don't like to take anything until after 10:30 because a lot of times the half an hour and the hour will like smack me about and it's not cute. But I'm bearish and I wanted the short. Like I wanted the short. It's not my setup, but I wanted it. So I'm trying my best to change that vibe. Because look at it. I mean, it's not a good setup. And this is what I'm trying to weed out of me. Follow the rules. It's not a good setup. It's a good setup for a long, because what have we not done? We've not shifted. We've not made a structural shift. We're still bullish. So for the bulls, keep it going. Juicy. Go. I don't go. I'm inherently bearish. They've taken buy side. I'm looking for a reason. Sometimes I do this where I put the fair value gap there. If they respect it, like they're doing now, that's also a potential for a short. I think it's still a good one, but it's not my setup. But I would have wanted to take it. And I don't know. It looks like it might work. But it looks like I can't put the order in. Because I would have been it I would have you saw me try and put the order in and it didn't work for me. So the other thing is this is technically, a return into an order block. We rejected this. It looks good. That's why I wanted to put the order in. It's not the exact setup I'm trying to take for the month of August, but it is a setup that I would be interested in taking. And I mean, it's looking like it would have worked. Why? We came up, we respected the fair value gap, we tapped this order block. Actually, no, we didn't even tap that order block. We didn't even reach it. Didn't even touch it. But it had the potential, it had the features for a decent short. And I just wonder, should I, words hard, obviously, should I have considered when they took this low out of shift? Actually, yeah, because this base is higher than this one. So it's a small shift, but it's there. So that means I should have felt comfortable. I should feel comfortable taking this short after it showed that it didn't want to go any higher. Now the question is, seeing that from the on-demand perspective, I couldn't. You saw me attempt to put the order in, and it didn't work. It didn't let me put the order in. So now my question is, let's pretend I was able to put the order in like I tried here. Can we get down to here? Can we get down to here? This is old. Because that's what this would be the London lows, right? If it let me actually take that order. It didn't. Things that I would be considering. Lows as it drops at this point. And this is the kind of thing that I tend to miss sometimes, right? When I'm looking for these setups. Like, what did I say originally? I said, let's zoom in like real tight. I said I wanted a shift. And I said I wanted this to shift. It did not quite make it there. Yeah, right? It's so annoying, but come on. But small adjustments like this, like it actually did give us a shift. Even that, it gave us a shift right here. So then the fact that I was compelled to take the short here actually falls within the drawing tool. I don't know, I've never tried it. Let's see, drawing tools. 'Cause I don't know if I've ever seen I guess let's use a trend line, right? So this would have been my entry. Let's use that. Right. So this is where I wanted my entry, which they came back up nicely. And since I can't set the order in here for testing purposes, so I guess we'll use these lines. And I'm aiming for this thing down here. That's what I wanted. Things to consider on the way. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Thank you, Coach Carter. So things I'm going to consider on the way down. How they behave at the different lows, fair value gaps. Like I want to see them blow through it, like with alacrity, not be all like half-assing it or, thinking hesitation. Once we hit certain lows, like I'm going to use another line to like specify like my stop. Like I'll use that as like a stop, TP's down here, and I'll just move that around to kind of like consider let's make that the stop. Let's put that to the right. And we'll use that to figure out what's up. So now in a scenario like this, we've taken this low out. I don't necessarily expect them to come back to this fair value gaps. I would move my stop just below break even right here and then let it sit. right? What do you guys think? Because sometimes when I do that, I get stopped out like on a regular. You know what I mean? So here's what I'm thinking like we've sort of we've broke through these two lows, but we didn't do it strongly, right? I would like for it to be a lot stronger on that break. But I'm also expecting this order block and this fair value gap to be the line in the sand. Me, let me set that, right? So now we've got an entry here, and I really wish it would let me do it. This is true, right? I really wish it would let me set the order. I really do. It's so annoying. I can't believe it's like telling me a message like virtual sold at 19,537.25. Virtual sold at blah blah blah. Like anyway. So this is how I'd be managing this, right? Like I want to see it respect this order block and the fair value gap that's in it. I need it to drop below here with some strength. So I don't like that it closed sort of weakly under here, right? You're absolutely right. I wouldn't have lost at that point because I'm looking for like one good trade a day, you know? Lock it in, keep it moving. That's what I'm looking for. So as it makes different structures, I'm going to lock in based off of the structure and just move my stop down and hope that I can like get comfortable getting to where I want to be. So let me move this so it's not blocking the candles so you guys can see right there. Yeah. So here's behavior I don't like, right? Especially for short. And this is the sort of thing that would really make me feel very uncomfortable. We've moved nicely. This would, this definitely, this is annoying me. So like my entries here, that's where I tried to put my order and it didn't let me. I don't like that it hasn't, it looks good, right? But it hasn't closed strongly. It hasn't. So the only line in the sand I have is that red box and the order block. And, you know, it doesn't look great. If it had closed strongly, it would look good. It didn't close strongly. So in this scenario, it looks like I'm about to get stopped out. But I don't know. Maybe they just want to dip into the top portion of this, but my preference is that they stay below the half level like they did here. And that's a really good setup. But again, they did not close strongly, so I'm not feeling very great about this setup. Mm-mm. Good luck. You're almost to my stop. And honestly, this could just be another scenario where, and voila, I'm stopped out for like maybe 35, $50. That doesn't mean that the setup isn't good, but let's see, when did that entry occur? Yeah, 10:26. So remember I said I wouldn't have taken this before 10:30 because I don't trust 10:30. I don't know. I've been in trades before 10:30 and like it hurts my heart. So like this candle right here, I would have preferred this 10:30 candle, I would have preferred for it to drop and drop like with alacrity. It didn't. We went back up. All right. So at this point, my setup is invalid. I'm stopped out and that didn't work. So I'm gonna move this up because technically this is new buy side if they want to come back up. My other option now is if before 10:45, before 11, they choose to take the highs out again. Honestly, they don't even have to take the highs out. If they want to take this out, like with a wick, and then drop and give me structure, I would also take that because I have to also get comfortable with the whole internal liquidity thing too. Yes, exactly. No strong bearish closure. Exactly. Right? No strong bearish closure. That's why I said when I move my stop in, it doesn't look great because it didn't give me a proper push. Mm, this guy? Yeah, see, good catch. Tapped right into it, didn't even bother to touch the fair value gap, tapped into it, and then reversed back up. Things that I'm no longer interested in. I don't care about that. They've invalidated it. Exactly. Exactly. So whatever short I would be interested in is dead because everything that I like is predicated off of a strong setup, not weak. It has to be a strong sweep. It has to be a strong push below. Otherwise, the trade is invalidated, as we just saw. Not a bad setup, and it probably moved a decent amount. Did take this, so if you're scalping it, you'd have made a nice little bit on that. Let me take a look at me. Let me go over to trading view just so I can because I can't tell. They don't have like a, yeah, exactly. The more recent high hasn't been taken. So maybe if they take the 10 a.m. high and then give us a shift, that'd be great. But the other thing that also irritates me is the simple fact that they could just as easily knock me out and then drop. Because that happens a lot, right? That happens a lot. So, but right now, if you were bullish, I would absolutely say take this long because I think they're gonna at least take the high out one more time, given the weak closure. It's also, something that irritates me about this platform is the fact that, switching between time frames and I have to zoom in. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. But yeah, like with that weak closure, yeah. So on that's why it's so important to look at the 5 minute, 15 minutes to make sure that you're not getting caught in just like, accumulation. Yeah, like exactly. It is a very small range that they've created that we're hanging out inside of. A lot of times I'll put the fib on and have it have the 50% so I know when we're in it, so I don't forget when I'm on the 1 minute. So that would be like grabbing the Fibonacci here, dropping it on the top, dropping it on the bottom. Because I have it set up right now to, once I've got the shift, I can either use the fib to decide my entry at the 62, 70, or the 79%. Oh, I guess it doesn't show that. Dang. Oh well. But here I'm dropping the Fibonacci on the tiny range so we can like see it and then let's switch back. So this is why it's a little clunky for me because I can't do actually, can I do multiple views in this one? I don't know if I've tried to do I don't think so. I think I tried to do multiple screens on this one and didn't work. But yeah, with the weak closure, going long makes more sense. And that's why I was like so hesitant about going short because it was such a weak closure underneath it. The thing is, I'm like really good at reading it. I'm just really bad at entering. Isn't that ridiculous? I can be like, oh yeah, I was gonna do this, then capitalize on it, right? Nah, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Why would I do that? So the other option here is we're at 1040. The other option is for a good entry is it did sweep this. Now there's a part of me that would want, all right, bye. Have a good day. The other part of me would want to look at this, control scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Oh yeah, that does, well, it kind of works. Control and scroll with the wheel. It just sort of pushes it out of the way. Yeah. And now I'm stuck in the Zoom thing, and it sometimes it gets stuck and it won't let me zoom at all, which is just ridiculous and annoying. So now we're in like a mini no man's land for me. So by 11 o'clock on this day, I would have chosen to not bother to take another trade and switch to the afternoon, if I'm being honest, if I'm being honest with you. So I wouldn't want to like retake the same trade, which is what this would be if I felt, you know, compelled. Though it is above the 50% of the range. So there's a certain part of me that wants to take the trade now that we've swept this a little bit. But again, need a shift. Need a shift. Take this low out. But it's a range, and ranges and I aren't friends. Ranges chop me up. Ranges cost me money. So no, I wouldn't be taking that. So it's like 10:42 August 5th, 10:42 a.m. August 5th, 2024 that we're testing out. So what do you think? Should we like say fire bun for this morning because it feels like it's just gonna chop after it's pushed up? Because that's what it feels like to me, right? It feels like it's just gonna continue chopping. So let's dip to the PM and see if there's something better. There's still 15 good minutes left in the AM session. And at this point, I would be bullish, but I wouldn't be taking this because, yeah, we just need to get used to the platform. You're right. You are absolutely right. And I am trying. That's why I'm so happy to have found this. Um, when I was setting up my screen, and it's funny, I was watching what's her name? Tori Trades. She did like a little short on how the candlesticks make you feel. Because I switched mine to green and black instead of red, like from the very beginning of my whole setup here. So the news for this day is already done. There's no more news. It was at 10 o'clock. So this, yeah, this 10 o'clock, that was the news candle right there. And so there's nothing else for the day. No more news, no more nothing. But it's trying to entice me, y'all. It's trying to entice me. It's at this moment where, I try to focus more on the 5 minute so I can see where I am and what the chop is. But I have a hard time switching it. I don't switch it on Think or Swim because, I'm trying to look at trading view on the 5, 15, 30, and then take the trade there, and sometimes this, may or may not have worked. They took the intermediate highs here, and maybe this was the short. So it looks like it wants to come back down. Ugh. So this would like really like hurt my heart. But now I don't trust it. I don't trust it and I wouldn't take it. It might drop now. It might be a beautiful short, but I don't trust it because I'm still bearish, but we're not in a bearish space in this time frame. So I'd also be looking at ES and the Dow to see what they were doing. But the one thing I've noticed though is that those guys aren't, when they're not correlated, like everything's just crap, honestly. It's just crap. So in this scenario where I've already taken what looks like a decent short that should have, blown past here and made like decent structure here and continued down. Now we're just ranging and I don't like it. We're just hanging out at the midpoint of this range. So I wouldn't be taking that. Hmm. It's a pity this on-demand thing doesn't let you exactly. It's choppy on the 5 minutes. It's just barcoding. So given that, and it's like 10:46, I don't think we're gonna get anything juicy. So let's like fast forward this to the PM. So let's head to 13:45 on the PM. Yo! All right, and let's dip to the 15 minute. And let's see what we have to work with. Well, it looks like it took out the highs on there. Nice. So it took out the high, the intermediate high, and there's this lovely gap up here. So it's 145 on the same day. We didn't get we got one, we would have gotten one trade on the AM and been stopped out for, just a little bit above break even. So I want to see what they're doing. So let's clean this up. We don't need this. That. And it looks like we've had a little bit of a shift on the 15 there. So let's see what we have to work with on the 1 minute. So this is what we had in the morning, and we said, 5-1 for the chop. It's gonna take the highs out. It did. Lovely. So let's see what we get at 10:45. We've got highs taken out. I'm still bearish. Why? Because they still haven't gone very far. And the daily is bearish, right? So, so at this point, I'm okay with like an internal, yeah. I'm bearish on, I'm waiting for something that can tell me to go short. So, what I like to do is, if they've already taken the highs out that I'm considering, my next thought, especially after they've had a shift like this, my next thought is, do we have a fair value gap that can act as like an entry point for me? Or one that's acting as though, like a catalyst. So on the 15-minute, look at that guy. So this is the 5 minute, sorry. So we have this guy that's been acting as a, like a spot where they're stopping price from going lower. So I would be reevaluating my desire for how far I would take the short. So, and there's a 5 minute one. Let's dip up to the 15. Maybe there's a clearer version of it. And it's rare that I actually get a trade that's actually, and let's also note this volume imbalance over here, just this big void of nothingness they might want to just be running up to. Because, tapping into that would also make me want to get a nice light version of purple to indicate the void. I got to make sure that whatever I put on these charts, I can see the candles. Sometimes, the candles don't actually show up the way they're supposed to. So for me, new 15-minute high, that's the lunchtime high, and this is the lunchtime low. So my preference for a short is for them to take the high out and then give me a shift. For a long, since we've been just pushing up since 8:30, I would like to see them take this low out right here. So let's so something else that I've also noticed, like when we're hanging out in some fair value gaps, let me just plop this here. So for a long, and I'm trying to be flexible, for a long, I'd like to see them take that lower and then stay above the 50% of this fair value gap, because again, we're still getting a sweep and there's a potential, let's get in there. There's a potential for some sort of shift back and then maybe an entry at the top of the fair value gap, because I've also seen that too. Like once liquidity's been swept, especially when you're inside at higher time frame fair value gap, there's also the potential for an entry at the top with an order block. That usually works pretty well. I've been watching it. do that for quite some time. I don't know if we'll get that. So if we don't get anything too juicy soon, we might just switch to another day and play with the morning. So if you have a preference for a day you want me to back test, pop it in the chat and we'll nip over there after this session, this session's testing. Sometimes I'll come in here and look at what they've done. So they've taken this low out, swept liquidity here. So they don't technically need to do it again. They don't. And then we did have a shift, but it was a very messy one with a fair value gap. It is technically an order block. There's nothing blocking it. That candle right there could have been an entry. And they definitely used it and ran up, but didn't take, and then they didn't take that high out either. So still chopping about. Can't say that I know for sure what they're going to do at this point. Like I have my preferences. Let me pull this over just to, yeah, I have my preferences for how this should go. But if they do drop below here, and again, I'm getting distracted. I'm waiting for a sweep, waiting for a shift, and I just need to enter. Well, this thing won't let me enter, so that's all right. And actually, let me, while we're waiting to see what they're gonna do here, let me do a quick Google search on Thinkorswim on demand, um, enter trade, enter trade. For back testing. Okay, so let's see. There's like a article here that I'm gonna take a quick gander at. Cause I don't know, maybe it's the account they gave me. Maybe it doesn't have futures privileges or something. Cause you could get uh an account with Charles Schwab, but you also still need to request a futures account. Hmm. Internal liquidity, I'd be interested in reaching for if they take this low out and roll up. If they want to continue higher, but those are the lines in the sand that I'm drawing. It must take the high, give me a shift, then I'll try and enter, or it must take the low, the sell side liquidity, give me a shift and enter. And for those, for folks who are just joining, we're back testing using the Thinkorswim on-demand platform on the app. And it's awesome because it paints the candles the way they would do on any particular day. So this is August 5th, 2024 at 1:53 p.m. Eastern Standard that we're working with, which is amazing. Like this is going to take my back testing to the next level because it's like forward testing because I don't know what happened that day. Not a clue. So we tried the AM. We would have gotten into a short and we would have been stopped out for a small, maybe 30, $50, just covering fees. And by the way, just so you know, Thinkorswim, for, or I should say not Thinkorswim, that's just the app, the trading app that we have using. But Charles Schwab, like they charge the exact same amount for a mini as for a micro. So when I first started trading, I was planning to use micros actually to trade, but I don't know about you. I'm not using, and let me tell you how much it is round trip for Thinkorswim. It's $7.30 round trip. Okay, July 30th this year, 2025, coach, or in a different year? Yeah, but imagine paying 730 times 10 micros. That's $73 for one trade. That's insane. So I trade minis and I pay $7 and 30 cents round trip for one trade, which is because I was originally going to try like AMP, or one of those other live brokers to trade, but since I'm stuck with the one, yeah, 2025 should work. The app absolutely allows it. So I'm checking to see what limitations this thing has since I can't put the entry in so you guys can see it moving. Another thing I don't like is I don't like to see the dollar value. I'm actually literally looking, I would prefer to see the ticks, the tick values, But everything is dollar value. So um, looking at limitations. So, yeah, it's a great way to practice your trading skills to gain consistency. So, there are limitations. It's memory intensive and buffering time to load the historical data will show on Hourglass. Okay. Um, okay. Scanning is not an option. Okay, so on-demand fills when entering and exiting a trail would not be identical to a live trading account. In the on-demand mode, the fills happen instantly at the median price versus slippages that occur. Despite these limitations, really, but then does that mean I can only use a market order, perhaps, and not the limit orders? Let's test that out. Since this is so like we're in this chop. Let's sell for like a second. And the it says that I did something. So we hit the sell button, but I'm not seeing anything. No P&L, no nothing. It's definitely moving in my favor. Well, you know what? I think it thinks I'm in a trade, but it's not showing me. Like, I hit the sell button to cancel, reverse, and flatten. Is there? Let's hit flatten. Did that close it? Cannot cancel order to close. Huh. Well, yeah, doesn't look like we can actually use it. That's annoying. So can't set a limit order, cannot set a thing, but it does say that I attempted it. Virtual sold. Okay, so I guess it's just a message that tells me that it virtually sold. And that's it. Weird. Whatever. Okay. So that's part of the limitations, but I would have been, that wouldn't have been terrible. Um, let's see, what does it say? Right, you can go back to your original starting time. Your simulated account size is 100K. And then if I want to switch back, I just have to click the on demand button. Yep. So it definitely doesn't say that I can't put the order in, but it's definitely not letting me put the order in. It says that I've done a short position, but it's not showing any P&L. So whatever. We'll just work with the, oh no, it's not just crappy. It's just crap. Yeah, it is a crap, choppy, gross time. What are we at? 2 o'clock? We're about to be at 2 o'clock on August 5th, 2024. Hmm. So, like I said, I am waiting to see if they want to take the sell side, stay above the midpoint of this, and then give me a shift for a long to go back up for the high. Or my preference would be if they would have taken this so I could go for a short. But this whole day, they wouldn't have given me anything juicy. So let's nip up to the 5 minute just for funsies and see what silly range we've been sitting in since 9:30. Like, come on. We did have a shift here on the 15. It's not strong, and we haven't tapped into anything juicy up here. So I'm hoping to see some follow through. Again, sweep, shift, and I wouldn't even be going for these highs. I'd just go for these equal highs. See those two candles there? They're so close together. I would like want to go for these equal highs right there. This guy, that guy. Maybe even the fair value gap up here would be a nice place. So let's see if 2 o'clock gives us some enough movement for that. So let's prep our trend line that we're going to use to estimate the testing here. So I'm going to aim for these highs right here. So I'm going to drop a buy side liquidity thing here. Because given how slowly it's moving, either it drops with alacrity after 345, I'm guessing. Because I swear to God, sometimes they'll just chop around until 345 and then drop with alacrity. It's very annoying. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Now, the other thing is this is internal liquidity, right? Like we have lots of external liquidity down here for them to chop into. So it has to be a very clear, I want to go back up. And then if this doesn't work, we'll head over to the July 30th, 10 a.m. pre-FOMC, and we'll figure that out. By the way, I got a juicy trade on last Wednesday, just following my process, coach, man. I guess we talked about that on Friday when I was like just in my feelings about again waiting for my trade and not taking it. So that's why we're here. That's why we're going to be here every single weekend, back testing this thing until I get out of my own way. Because you're fighting with yourself when you don't follow your process. I need to be the best version of me when I'm trying to trade. For realsies. All right, it's 2:02. We've taken the low down here. Now I'm looking to see how they behave. Are they going to push back up? Stay below the midpoint? Give me something to aim for that? So if I see what I like, this is the trade I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. So I'm hoping they create a couple more candles here so that we can have like a bit of a mini shift. And then an up close, a down close candle at the top of this would be what I would go for an entry for, and then run up. That's what we're looking for. Now, the opposite of that would be if they drop below here, like with proper alacrity. If they drop, then the secondary option that I like is a continuation trade. And then that's when I would be aiming for the lows down here, or at least equal lows here into this fair value gap right here. But let's see what we get here. Because I also, and this isn't technically like the shift version of this entry. I did, didn't I? Yeah, it played out. But you know why it did though? Look, they did sweep some liquidity here, right? And then they were chopping around. And I bet you anything, if we go to the higher time frame, the probability of finding a fair value gap that they were sitting inside of, or maybe a new day opening gap or something that they were respecting, that would get us to, a reason why this would work. But remember, trading is one of those things. You could flip a freaking coin and it'd be like heads buy, tails sell, and then just, do that too. But I'm trying to work on precision. Also, something that I don't like is when there's like a single sweep through the lows. I don't like that. I like to see them sweep it at least twice, because that makes me feel more comfortable. But look what they're doing. They're like hanging out and they're giving me something. So I want this candle to close below this one and then the next one to shift above it. And then I'd have an entry right here, right here. So let's wait. And then we're going to go for here and maybe even this fair value gap up here because, why limit yourself? But equal highs are really great places for taking your profits. Now, if they don't do that, I don't know. Let's see. So we just got a fresh candle. Oh yeah. Yeah, like long run. If you're just YOLOing into random stuff, the losing streak is real. It's really, really real. All right, so let's see. I want to see them like pop up here. If I'm gonna get a shift, I want to see them pop up here. So it's 2:06. So waiting to see if we can get something inside of this 15, the 50-minute macro. So the macro should run out about 2:15 on this day. So let's see what we get. And again, there's no news in the afternoon for this day. There was only news at 10 a.m. I really, 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 really do not like when they hang about like this. Because you see them do it here, right? They did it here, and then they came back into. No, I would have taken this with the fair value gap at the top. Why? Because we came down, we probably took some liquidity. Yep, exactly. We're gonna wait for that. Exactly. So I would have taken this, right? Because they swept this. We're still in at the top of this 50-minute fair value gap. They did chop about a bit, but they left one fair value gap here. I would have taken it at the top in the hopes that my 37 tick stop would be just below here. And that would have given me a little bit of profit. I would have been hoping they would come in and take this high out personally, which they came close. But I'm not gonna lie to you. Once they're getting close to my TP, I'm like moving my stop up to hold on to that. So we're waiting. We're waiting. We are waiting to see what they're gonna do. Because remember, my initial bias for this day was very bearish, but we're staying in a specific space. You've set up a specific thing for me. So I'm waiting to see if I can get the kind of setup that works for me. Right now, we've taken liquidity. I'm waiting for a shift. So let's see if we get it. Come on, come on, show me, show me the money. Huh. All right, so we get a nice bullish shift. So my entry has two options, right? We get the shift up, and you see how this candle's forming and it's popped this guy. I no longer need to take my entry here because they've already like rebalanced it. They don't need to come back down to it. They don't need to come back down to it. So I am waiting to see. We're gonna get a shift. I would love here to see an up close, a down close candle form here for a run up. The bullish, look at the bullish engulfing on the left just above the fear FVG high. Oh, this guy? That one? Or this one? Because so we haven't shifted yet. Ah, you know what? I'm probably lying. This is a shift. That's the other thing that gets me too. Like, I want this shift as a better confirmation, but there's technically a shift right here. So I'm still waiting for that setup to look the way I want it to. It doesn't look right yet, so we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. And sometimes waiting is the best thing because look, it didn't shift and it's looking not juicy. Oh yeah, so this one. Okay. What about it? You like that guy? No, if this forms, because this looking like it wants to do another of this choppy, painty BS. So it's 2:11. So if this does not play out the way we want it to, then we're gonna dip over to July 30th at 9:45, 2025 to backtest that time frame. So we're just waiting. They are painting. They are like chopping about. This is the type of price action that drives me nuts. Like it's just not clean. It doesn't give me what I'm looking for. It drives me nuts. Like it makes me want to close the charts and come back another day. Seriously. Sometimes you can get such clean setups, and other times it's like, wow. Can you hook sister up with some water? Oh, wait, let me take a sip first. Because I'm gonna be at this for a while because I'm getting comfortable with this platform. So, waiting for that shift, waiting for that shift. And we are painting. It's 2:12. In this macro. Still in this macro. So, 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 so annoying. But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be vigilant. We're just gonna be patient. Take my hair tie out. Let it free. Freedom, Las Vegas. All right, so I have this thought now where we just tapped above here. We have the tiniest of breaks right here. And like I might be, this would make me feel like I want to take it right there. So here's where I'd put my entry just to see in the hopes that my stop would, and it's not a strong close. So it's probably not the best entry, but I put my entry right here and then I would have been tagged in. Now, hands off. Oh, the picture of the pattern I'm looking for. Let me create it in trading view and see if I can swap. So this is a situation where I would lose because I was not patient. So I would have been stopped out there because we didn't get what we wanted. Should have waited for a good shift, like a proper body shift. And maybe we'll get it again. So I would have been stopped out for 185 here. Let's see. Let me show you what I am looking for. Wow, that is destroying every desire of what. So let's switch, since she asks, let's switch out to trading view for a hot second so I can share it with you. All right. So we're on trading view now, so I'll show you what I'm looking for. So pattern simple. Sell side liquidity. You can see that. Okay. So sell side liquidity is taken. So the pattern I'm looking for right now is sweep it, shift here, come back to the come back. Let me put my, because at least I can do the tool here. and then reach for the nearest high or fair value gap. Literally. That's what I'm looking for. Sweep. See how this one has like that nice little like tick in? I would have put it there. Why? Because I want to make sure I don't miss it, because sometimes they tap the top of it, but not the whole thing. And then I would be hoping that I get my stop is enough, because it's 37 ticks. It's more than three. Okay, yeah. And then a sweep above here. That's a shift for me. Or this, or yeah, that's a shift, and then an entry here. And then take something like that. Yeah, that's what I would want. That's what I would want. All right, let's switch back over to the Thinkorswim app here. Okay, so we didn't get that. So I should not have, like should not take this trade. Remember what I said about lows, and I like them to get taken more than once? That's a potential. Did that work for you, Coach Carter? Do you need me to? I could share a screenshot with you. Wait, can I do that? Let me see. Because I can share a link so you can get to the screenshots. You can see the pattern that I'm thinking about. It's not always clean. Let me see. Copy link. So let me see. I'm going to put this in the chat. Can you get to that? I don't know if I don't know. All right. So the 215 macro is done. And what I want did not play out. And this is a terrible thing I had to take, but it might still play out because it took it once. We hang about it. If we shift above this with some alacrity, the potential is still there, I think. But this might be a continuation down now, because remember I was bearish all morning, and I should have felt that's an internal sweep and not a clean ship, so I wouldn't have taken that. So let's see. 217, do we get a potential return back up? I don't know. But if we have a strong close this way, possibly. So last few minutes, and then we'll switch to July 30th, and let's see if we could trade that. Notice the down close candle with no bottom wick at the swept low on the trading view chart. Yep. Yep. Like I like that the way in the screenshot in the trading view thing, the way they swept that low and then closed made me very comfortable wanting to take that short. That's the one that I missed on Friday. Honestly, that's the one I missed on Friday. Okay, so here we go. If we get a shift, maybe if we get a shift here, it's what, 218 on August 5th, 2024 for testing, then the long is on point. If not, then a potential for a short for the lows, for like this low wouldn't be terrible. But this would be like a continuation trade, not the sweep shift and enter that I'm working on for August. But right now, I'm looking to see if they give us a sweep shift. So this is probably what we're looking for. Okay, good, good, good. Glad that worked. Um, I'll also add, so yeah, so that's basically what I'm looking for. Like I need a sweep, I need a shift, and then I need them to leave either no fair value gaps at the order block and then have a up close candle, a down close candle that has a fair value gap above it. And then I could enter from that candle. But there cannot be any fair value gaps below it when I'm trying to enter. Otherwise, I'm going to put my entry at the fair value gap and the order block below it instead for the entry versus the one that I shared just now. Okay, so now this is looking semi-decent. So we have two order blocks here. I want to see a shift up past them. So then my entry would be more like right here. If it gives me, or if it gives me the up close candle, the down close candle up here, then I'd want the entry to be, here. Again, still waiting for a shift. And then we'll switch to July 30th. And then let's also take a look at the 5 minutes, see what this is looking like. It's always good to recalibrate. Where are we? So we're back in the crap here. I'm hoping for a potential just to take this high up. And I won't even be greedy. I'll take that guy. 181.7613 instead. So let's see if that would work. Because then that would be a proper shift. And again, this little break there would have really, really made me want to take that. It really would have made me want to take that. And you see that it wouldn't have worked for me. All right, now we're looking better. Let's see if we get something juicy. Juicy. So this is the order block. Both of these, we don't really have any fair value gaps down here, so I don't expect them to come back down. We need to break above this high with some strong up close candles. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, definitely no rush because this is a learning, growing experience for me. And if this works, if this helps you guys too, that would make me super happy as well. So in this scenario here, yeah, there's a big old wick there on this down close candle. So whenever there's a big wick, I'd want to take it at the body like that. Because I don't know if and I'm gonna, since I can't measure it in here, I don't think I have any way to measure it in the ticks. Let's see if one of these could do it. I don't really use these very much. Fibonacci spiral. What is a Fibonacci spiral? Ugh, weird. Got a channel, time level, the pointer. Yeah, not much in here I can use. Right, expansion settings. So we've done no shifting in here for long. So shorts are still very much. And look at and this is where I need to learn flexibility, right? We've run back up, wicked into this. I mean, it might just continue down, honestly. Respecting this order block, gotta remember, like, if we drop a fib on it, and I like to do this sometimes, like, as a continuation trade. Oh, thank you so much. Mm. So if I was looking for a continuation trade, we've broken below the 50% of this fair value gap finally. So my next option would have been a trade at the 70% with hopefully my 37 tick stop would be above here if I was looking for a continuation trade, which this looks like it might want to be. But the fact that we're staying below the 50% point, this looks like a juicy short now, finally, you know? But this is not what I'm trying to backtest. So for other folks who are considering this sort of situation as a continuation trade, 50% of this fair value gap or the block, I would feel comfortable taking this down to take out that low at minimum. Can I change the color of this thing? Yeah, I can. Woohoo! Like if I were to take that, like given that everything that I was waiting for did not show up here, it's 225. I would feel somewhat comfortable taking this short as a continuation short. But I found that whenever I try to change my bias and things, it just doesn't work out for me. But this is one of those situations where if I took this short, it would have been at the order block, and then we would have been in some profit there. Fair value gap, I would have moved it right above the midpoint here and taken my hands off the wheel and said, whatever. But I'm looking for a certain behavior. We took some liquidity and I haven't seen the behavior that I want for a long. So I haven't taken anything. I wouldn't have taken any of this. 226. And if I'd taken the short, like I'd been waiting for something to give me a long on this day, I would have been just about to be stopped out if I had taken the short here. Because I would have taken it at the body, so my stop would have been right there. We tap that. I don't know. Do we just drop from here or do we run up? Right now, I'm not gonna lie, it looks a little juicy for the long that I've been waiting for all day. Why? Oh, good. Well, welcome back. I had a weird moment too. Um, so then I would have been just about it's not my setup. My setup is sweep, shift, enter. So I've been waiting for long. So I put this in here as an example. Like if somebody else was more comfortable, I don't like taking shorts close to the lows. I don't ever get what I want from those, like ever. So I don't take them. So now it's 227 on August 5th, and we've made a low. We've not taken it. Can we get a shift to get the long that we've been waiting for this whole time? I don't know. Can we? Because it looks like we should be able to. Because I'm excited to try this pre-FOMC 10 a.m. for your coach. So it's, oh, is it? Yeah, I've never used it. I know nothing about what it's for, honestly. Nothing. So this looks like crap again on probably looks like crap again on the 5 minute barcoding. We're still respecting this order block here, but I am still bullish if it would just give me something to tell me it wants to go up. Which I think it's about to. So remember what I wanted as an entry for this guy. So we've got this order block. So this all of this, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the order block. Come on, show me. So this is the second stage type of shift. It's not my favorite. Doesn't make me happy at all. So I'm literally just, this wick is so long that I would want to put my entry at the midpoint of it if I get it, honestly. Same situation. Gotta wait till 2:30. We're almost at 2:30 on the 5th. It's looking pretty valid now. So now this is what I want. I'd want my entry here to take out that high there. So we finally got a shift. Come on. Yes. It's looking much better. It's not great. It's not amazing, but it's looking more. So we got a weak shift here. So then that would force me to want to move my entry to the body of this thing instead. There's also this juiciness right down here that makes me want to get in as well. So entry at the midpoint of this wick, because it's such a long wick, I still have enough to be in the trade, and then be hopefully my stop loss, which is always 37 ticks no matter what. And hopefully my stop loss is enough to handle it. But I don't like the weak stuff. But I would have been tagged in here. I would have been tagged in at this point right here. That looks much better. And I like that they did tap into this down here already and then gave me this propulsion block. And then look at that. Look at that. We just waited super patiently now. So like once we've pushed past that, we've hit a certain amount, like we need to leave this space, like go. So let me set where my stop would be for this. Because that's the thing I'm trying to work on. Like this would be my stop loss. Yeah, I was wicked in right there. It's like I said, I wanted my entry at the midpoint of this, right? And then, so let's guesstimate where the stop would be. My stop would be just below. If I'm like right there, my stop would be just below that order block right there. And then I would only move my stop once we left this area and got some movement up there, right? So I would be in, and then I would be like, my heart would be racing, I'd be nail biting. Because I also considered moving it to the body, but you keep missing things sometimes when I do that. So let's see. So I would have been wicked in right there. That would have looked beautiful, and then this candle would make me uncomfortable. I would have wanted to move my stop into profit here, but I'm trying not to do that. So what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for them to leave this area. They need to push up now and go. So let's see all the foolishness I would have had to do. So once we pushed up and we wicked that, I would have been right clicking, going to my buy custom, and then clicking that. And then that would have set my order on my live account. And now I would just be waiting to see if this would work out. Because we've been sitting here waiting and waiting. The other potential option for an entry, if I didn't want to do that, is this is the other thing I was waiting for. The up close candle at the top of the fair value gap. I would also take it at the body of this candle. Once it's like pushed past it and showed me some follow through. But I don't like this. This isn't juicy at all. So we see where my stop is right here. So I'm hoping that the body of this candle would save me from this. But we have to get a strong up close. It's 2:33 on August 5th, 2024 that we're testing this in. So we've already seen the one attempt at a trade I would have taken in the morning for a short. Then as the PM set, we set our sell side liquidity that we're waiting for them to take and the buy side up here. So let's see if they're willing to go to let me get in on that middle of that candle with my stop here. I honestly don't know if that's 37 ticks. I really just don't know. Oh, let me put that to the right. This is where my stop is right now. And I need them to leave this area. Because I'm no longer needing this to be broken as my shift. I needed this to be broken as my shift. And then we've got this propulsion block that I was interested for an entry, the midpoint of that wick, which it gave me. And now it's chopping about. Don't like it. Don't like choppiness. But we're traders, right? Or at least we're trying to be. And we just got to deal with it. Since I can't set the order for it to show, we just have to use our little trend lines to show where I would have wanted my entry. So I don't like the behavior already. It hasn't left the area. We're just poking about. Let me see where my stop would be at the midpoint on that day on TradingView, just to make sure that I would be stopped out. If I'm being, so let's see. So this would have been, go back to 2024, just so I can make sure I have my stop where it's supposed to be, where my, so I'm just checking here. Just to make sure I'm not like, come on. Because my stop would be 37 ticks from my entry. So I just want to make sure I've put it in the right place for you guys. Fifth, 15 minutes. Let's see here. It's a Sunday. Okay. What day? So I don't like this chopping. It's very annoying, this chopping. It's flirting with the stop in it. That's why I'm checking to make sure my stop is in the actual place it would be with my normal order. For realsies. Yeah, it's the 5th, 3:30. Okay, there we go. Finally able to see it here. So it's 2:30. Let's see. So we're at 2:36. What day is this? August 5th. So if we're gonna exit this space comfortably, let's see. 2:30. Okay, so let me put my thing here and make sure where my stop is supposed to be. Midpoint, long from that spot. So my midpoint of that wick. Oh yeah, so my stop actually, if I'm going with 37 ticks in the midpoint of the wick, my stop would actually be right here. Not quite just below it. Just so I still wouldn't have been stopped out yet, but it hasn't left the area, so it's not going to. It hasn't left the area. Has not left the area. So I'm just about to be stopped out right there. And I would have been stopped out right there. Now, this behavior, so I would have taken a break even and then a full stop out in the PM with this foolishness. But what this tells me is they want to go down. They want to go down. They want to go down. So I'm going to take this as a sweep, and potentially this is order block. This would be the next potential entry. Because yeah, exactly. I would be knocked out because they did not want to break out of this space. They have to leave the area for it to be valid, and they didn't. So now that means the down close option comes into play. We have a small fair value gap here. Let's see what that would look like if I put it at the body for a short. And then now I would be able to look for something like that. So then, given that they stopped me out, still a sweep, it is a shift. I want to see if they want to like either tap the base of this thing or tap that and go. But anyway, so far we've not gotten anything clean. Like I said, this is not my favorite type of shift. Not my favorite type of shift. It needs to be a single shift, tap into the order block, and then drop. I don't like when they like run around and chop about. Like it makes everything uncertain. So then what I should do, my stop wouldn't really help me with this. So if I were to say take this sweep, this is a shift. Technically, I should take it at the body of this down close candle. And then technically my stop should be above here, but that's way more than I can stomach personally. Way more. Way more. But it doesn't look like they would give us the opportunity here. Anyway, enough of this day. Let us move on to July 30th and let's see about that. So let's do a little cleanup. And let's get to the 15 minutes there. And let's adjust let's clean up. Clean that. Clean that. And let's change our date. So let's go back to August. So July, you said July 30th. Let me scroll through the July 30. Okay, so you want July 30 so let's go from 9:45 because that's when I start looking for something. So that's 9:45, go. All right, so we are switching down. Cool. So let's go. We are, all right, so July 30th. And so things I would be looking for on this day. Lots of things that I had set up. So let's clean that up. Let's use that. So let's take a look at that high right there for some buy side. Oh, I had that already. So for some buy side liquidity, can I type? Who knows? Ha ha ha. So that's on Wednesdays. Let's look at that for some buy side liquidity. And I would have had a couple of places for sell size. Let's duplicate. Actually, so that's just one. Let's duplicate that. Next spot would be up here. And then let's duplicate that and come down. So my next area for sell side's down here. Sell side. That. All right, so we're on to August 30th. And I would have a number of areas. Let's duplicate. So there's that guy. Then I would be looking at that low. Then I would also be looking at this low. And then that one. So I would actually have all this all pre-spec'd out from before as things were pushing up. All right, so let's zoom in on this section here. And I think I had this, I didn't quite have that above right there. So we did sweep that. Yeah, it does. Sometimes I can find a good setup, especially when there's no news coming out. Let me grab that. Before 9:45 for a continuation. So we got this fair value gap here. So if we zoom in on that puppy, it's got a little breaky break right there. So let's see, was there news that day? Let me go back to Forex Factory and let's head back to August, so July 30th. So we had 8:15, 8:30 news, then we had 10 a.m. pending home, and then of course FOMC after that. So let's nip over to this 1 minute. So they took the high out here and then dropped with alacrity. I think on Wednesday, this is where I went short because I was waiting for them to sweep this and I took the 1L and then post FOMC I caught a nice chunk of that short in the post FOMC. Just trading sweep, shift, enter. So we are at 9:45. We swept that very shallowly. I never liked that. There's no shift here, so nothing to do yet. I guess just to All right, let's nip. You said 10 o'clock. Let's go straight to 10 o'clock since you said 10 o'clock. Let's go 10 o'clock. Okay, let's go to 10 o'clock directly. Okay. Oops. Let's get our zooming sorted out. Man, sometimes, man, the scroll zoom thing. Okay. So we did get a shift. So I'll tell you what happened. Yes, I put my order in right here after this tiny, tiny shift. And then I was hoping they would come back, tap it and drop, and they didn't. And I just let it sit on it. I let it sit and then I let it come back up. Because if I recall, they were very bullish for a second there when they rolled up. So the morning wasn't very great for shorting on Wednesday morning. But let's see. So it's 10 o'clock and we've just been shopping about. And a new rule I need to set for myself. Like when I see the shift and I set my order here, I should just take it off and wait until take it off and wait until a proper setup. No need to take the loss just to force yourself to set the order, I guess. So I remember this was very choppy and annoying for realsies. All right, so what we'll do is we'll backtest this and then we'll do the PM because I also want to see how I could have taken the PM trade better. So we'll nip over to after 2:30, after FOMC. So that usually when they put out the statement at 2 and then they talk until 2:30, the real moves happen after that if it's going to move at all. So we're at 10 o'clock. Yeah, this didn't give us much to work with, honestly. Oh, you know what? That's lies and deceit. So if I was really thinking about it, we've been sort of at that point, we've been just chopping sideways the whole time. But they did sweep. Let's see, they swept the London lows, and I didn't notice it. So let me duplicate that. They did sweep the London lows. So this is like a prime scenario here for like a long. And I don't like longs that sweep highs and then lows or lows and then highs, but it's a prime scenario for a long sweep, shift, come back to the order block, the body. But it would have been too choppy and I wouldn't have felt comfortable. But my setup would say take it here to go into this. It did? Okay. My setup would have said take that. So let me look at trading view to see if my stop would have withstood that. If I were to take that, if I had taken that. Let me just see. So let's go to Wednesday. Because if I had been bullish, because I was, like I said, I'm waiting for either or, either the the buy side gets taken or the sell side gets taken. And on that morning, I was expecting a short, and but this shallow run through wasn't very good. This run through is better though, because they did come back. Actually, did they come back to it? No, they didn't. Midpoint of the wick though, but I would still put it here because they've been like slowly trailing down. Like why not? But this scenario, if I'm being honest with you, like for a continuation up, like if I'd been paying attention, this is the sweep, this is the shift, then I would have wanted um when this up close candle here got created, I would have wanted I mean, down close candles, sorry. I would have wanted the next two candles to be up close green candles. And then I would have taken the long from here because that would have been the second entry type that I have for this type of setup, right? But that's not what happened. So, and like I said, I put in a short right here. Actually, I put it right here in between these two candles right there. And I was hoping for it to move, but I don't think it did. I think I got stopped out for this one. So I vaguely recall that since I took 185 loss in the morning and then 1190 win in the evening. So that's what I'm trying to work towards. So I'm back to trying to, let's see, let's go back to the 30th here and double check my, let's pick a date. Let me double check this is July 30th, and we want to be at 10 a.m. or so. Let's go to 11 so I can see the whole thing so I can set my stuff. Yeah. Let's see where my stop was when I did that. Yeah, because it just ran right through it. Yeah, so my stop was like right here. And honestly, like with order blocks like this one, we're coming back down to it. We should probably measure where the 50% of that thing is before we try to do anything with it. Should let me do that the other way. Because I recall it stopped at this order block and ran up. But at the time I wasn't looking at that because that would have been better for a bullish run up into that guy on Wednesday as a setup. So then they never actually made it back to like the 50% of that order block. But for the wick, let me take everything else off. So just to see what would have worked. So 50% of the wick, would my stop have withstood that? Because my stop never changes. It's 37 ticks. I find that every time I try to adjust my stop, yeah, my stop would have been down here. So if I'd taken it here, my stop would have been down here. That would have gotten us in to this run up, which I know takes this high out, but I wasn't thinking about it. But it would have fit the criteria. But I wouldn't have liked that they tapped this. So the fact that I saw them wick this, I would have put the order in here anyway, because I'm seeing them like rejecting it. But I would have been seriously nervous about it, like super nervous about it. But yeah, the trade I did take was a short. After it tapped this a little bit, I took the short from here and I got stopped out right there. But this midpoint would have been a good entry. And then my stop would have been in enough of the body that I would have felt comfortable with it. Make sure I'm not blocking anything yet. Because as we all know, this runs up nicely. But that would have been the entry that would have made sense if I'd been paying attention to it. So if I'd really thought about it on the 15, like if we'd come in here at 9:30, which would have been a good time. Because I think I started this at 9:45. Then I would have set. So this is what you could have done. So I would have set, that's like the London low. So I would have set that sell size liquidity for the London low. And then, right, for future reference, right? You're right. I got to put this in my notes. So I think I had this set, or maybe not. I probably had the bigger one. Screenshot that. I mean, not screenshot. This liquidity taken. Then in the morning, once it took it at 9:30, ran up. We got a nice shift. Like I said, this would have made me uncomfortable, but because it was so shallow, it's possible for them to do it again. Then the only really decent entry I see for that morning is the midpoint of that wick. Like so right there. And then you would have to sit through a little bit of drawdown, see if they want to stay above this fair value gap right here, and then hope that they want to dive in to really like repurpose this whole fair value gap, or even just the midpoint of it. I sometimes just let just run for the midpoint, and that's better. But like as an entry, it's not a bad one. I'm going to take that screenshot because you're right. Like I sometimes run into these scenarios and I don't have a good entry model for it. So let's see if this would work. I don't like that it's coming back down so much, but who the heck knows, man? So let me grab this screenshot right here, timing and everything. Wait, is this thing, what the hell? Why is there open P&L on this? Flatten. What the hell? What? Did you see that? When did that happen? That's so crazy. Flatten. What are you doing? What is it doing? Oh, look at this. This is crazy. Like, what? Can I actually take this? Can I take that? This is so weird. Like, there's like a short position in here. Okay, somehow it was just open and running. Somehow. But let's take the buy here. Just to be able to see it moving. That is so weird. What? That's so random. The heck? And now it won't let me do it. It was just randomly. I guess whatever buys we took before, it only took it like in the earlier time frame. You probably can't do it like so far away. So I'm just gonna mark it into that if it'll let me. No? No? Come on. Look at this. It's like down 150. I'm like, I didn't even know we were even in anything. All right, let's reset. Let's reset the account. Let's reset the account because this is ridiculous. And then let's, what the hell? Let's see if it'll let us do a market buy on that. It will. Okay, so we've just learned that when using this, you can only do it um on the newer time frames. You can't use it on what you doing? I'm not go. Maybe. No, I pushed it up. No, you're in. Why are you doing that? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, so that was so random. It was just randomly killing me. Oh, well, this is fun. Let's see if we can put a stop loss in here comfortably. Let's put a stop loss of 185 from wherever we entered. Okay. Technically, my stop should be down here because that's where I would have entered if I'd gotten it. And then, wow, we finally get to try this just once. Came back, it was like at zero the whole time, and then we came back, it was like $195,000. It's so crazy, man. That's crazy, no? All right, can we set like a TP then? Oh, suck it, the now. Oh, that's my partner. He's grabbing the vacuum. So let's see if we can get to 23,536. 23,536. Let's set our sell entry there. 536? Yeah. What's that? Now we need to sell there, right? Because we bought down here, so we need to sell there. So let's set a sell limit there. I can't believe this is when it lets us do this. So not cool, man. Not cool. But yeah, midpoint of that. Respecting the wicks too is a big deal. Big deal. So this is what it looks like when I'm trading. Like I actually don't have this open. I actually just look at it down here. But I'm trying to get comfortable with it open because sometimes I have the misfortune of clicking the wrong button, entering in a trade, and then, voila, that's my arse, you know. But NASDAQ, she can move, man. She can move 40 points easy peasy lemon squeezy, 100 points easy peasy lemon squeezy. So stop should order should be there. Like if I had taken this long for realsies, like, and this if I'd taken that, the stop would be at 23,461. So we're pretending that we did that. So it would be 461 or so, like there, right there. Yeah. But that's the morning trade you could have taken. And then you would be in some profit. You could probably move your stop. Like once this high is taken, she can really move. Once this high is taken, then you can move your stop to like if your entry was supposed to be here, just above break even and just let it run for realsies. And then sometimes, yeah, I like to aim for the midpoint or just below the midpoint of the fair value gap above. And that's usually like super nice. But yeah, that's like the only potential entry, and the only reason this would look even remotely decent is because of the sweep. I would be thinking about any fair value gap that's in the space, like a higher time frame one that might be holding price up here too. Don't know if we have that though. So yeah. So once she moves up here, then as we're pretending we got our entry right here, then we would be moving our stop. I think we got our entry up here somewhere, but we would be moving our stop to just about break even. And then, yeah. But this is nice. So, okay, we can only use the dollar value piece on here uh, when we're back testing times that are closer. Oh, I hear kitties. So just like that. Maddie. Hey, pretty girl, you get up here so fast. You are so impressive. It's an impressive kitty. You are. Okay, so we just tap that. So now I would be moving my stop to just above break even, which would be for this midpoint right here, just below this low. And this order block, really? More than 50% of that order block. And then I would just let it ride. Honestly, and also once it hits like 500, I would like move to, and I really need to stop doing that, right? I need to just work with, I need to just work with the setup and nothing else. Something else I need to work on, right? Work with the setup and nothing else. So yeah, I would have not liked this setup at all because of the price action is very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very high resistance liquidity movement, very high resistance liquidity movement. Nothing nice about the way this is moving. But if you can sit through it and come on, man, why didn't this close a little bit more healthily? But this is the trade I would have taken. Midpoint of this wick. Once we took that high out, shallow or not, move my stop into just above break even, just to the handle fees, right? And then see if we can get to where we gotta go. At this point, if it's gonna go up, I'm just the chop is like really awful and fierce in all of this. If it's gonna go up, then I need it to blow through this fair value gap like it means nothing. Like it's sandpaper, you know? Maddie on the Maddie, 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 hi cutie. Who's the cutest of them all? Oh, she's so like that movement now, that I like that. That's nice. That's beautiful. That's juicy. I don't like that I can see the dollar value because I don't know, like I don't want to be attached to the dollar value. Like I like the tick value better, but they don't have that option that I'm aware of. Oh, it's like quite nice actually. I think we're in the 80s. We're in the 80s at this point. Pretty nice weather. Does this thing have an option? Let's customize. Well, yeah. There's no tick option. Is there? No? Okay. Yeah, there's no tick option to work with this. And so now that we're moving, I would be moving my stop to just under here to lock in some stuff. Fair value gap, order block. Hopefully we just run up and go. Another thing I like to do, so this would have been well past 500 if we'd taken the entry where we wanted it in the first place, which is right here, midpoint of the wick. So with the entry where we did get in, winter, yeah. Oh, hold on, sorry. Kitty's gone now, so I can go back to looking normal. So this would be a good stress-free trade at this point. So this is what, yeah. So pre-FOMC, from my setup, it's not ideal, but the behavior here, you know, I'd probably put a fib on it so I can see the midpoint of the wick and see how they behave. Set this. I would not have liked, this is good movement. So I probably would have gotten stopped out, honestly, if I'd taken this. But if it came back and showed that it didn't want to, then I probably would have taken it right here where we did get in just now and then just let it ride. So it's nice to see that moving up. And I want to see if they can get to that limit order. So we've got one fair value gap, two, we're making a third, we're just gonna let it sit. Let it ride, let it ride. I'm trying my best not to move to hold on to 500 of this trade. Trying my best, coach. It's hard. But that's what we're here, right? So this is for you to test what you could have done for that trade. Like look at the 15 minutes, spec out your the London low and the high, and then see. Shallow run through. They'll probably run it again, honestly. So I want to see if they want to leave these open, the fair value gaps, and then run up, and I'll trail my stop, you know. We take this high out here, I'll trail my stop. So when you say winter, like do you guys get snow like we do, or is it just really cold? Oh, so this is 10 a.m., right? So you wanted to check out the pre-FOMC. This is the 10 a.m. check. And we're gonna go into the PM, and then we'll move to the PM 2 o'clock, and then we'll switch into 2:30 so we can trade the post FOMC stuff, because trading FOMC is not my bag. I can't. I don't have the stomach for that type of movement. All right. So, but this is the AM, right? So we are at 10:25, 10:26. So we're hours away from Fed stuff. So we're just gonna let this play out, because I thought you wanted morning stuff to see how that would work out. So we had the sweep, shallow tap into stuff above, come back, respecting the midpoint of this order block's wick. That's why we were like, okay, we can go long. We shifted, we came back down, still respecting the wick. Like this is no order block or anything. This here, when it came back in and ran back up, the period is fine. Okay, good. All right. So this is about 540. So I want to see them push up out of here. And then I'll move my stop to right above 500. And then we'll see if we can get into this fair value gap. Because right now we've locked in like a decent amount. I don't know how much, but I want to see um, if they want to come back down in here. Technically, my stop should be below here, this order block. But I really don't want to see them come back down into this. I really don't. So I'm hoping that this is what I would be thinking. I'm hoping that they'll stick to this tiny little fair value gap and then run these highs and continue up. That's what I'm hoping for. So we're at 10:27. So we'll see if like 10:30 gives us that juiciness. So I don't know if you can, so you can always tell the time that we're working with here. In the top right corner right there. So these pullbacks, man, Nazi, she's like she always loves those pullbacks, man. Like psych you out, mess with your vibe. She loves those pullbacks. So I'm trying to make sure I understand what I missed, because I took a short here when I should have taken the long. I mean, we're inherently bullish, right? Last week, super bullish. All right, so let's see if we can push up. And then we'll move the stop to right here, because that's about 540. And then technically we should move it to here, but I like to make sure it's a little over 5. If they take this high out, I'm good. 500 is more than enough to lock in and have me be comfortable for the day. Because 525 is base hit for me, and then 1,000 or more is like the good run for me. So we'll see if they want to continue up. Because the other thing I have a problem is like being hands off, right? Taking my hands off the wheel, not touching anything. And remember what I said, that my stop should really be under here. It should be under here, not here. Technically, it should be, if I'm going to not have it at the low, it should be at the 3/4, like below 3/4 of that thing. But I'm at a point where I'm just trying to hold on. So let's put it where it is, where it's supposed to be, and stop messing about. Because that's another thing I don't do well. Like, I don't manage my stops. Okay, that's cool. Snow on the mountaintops is very cool. I've yet to visit South Africa. I hear it's beautiful. It's on my bucket list to eventually do so. When I'm like when I feel like I'm going to be able to actually live free and get this trading stuff off the ground. So I like this reaction here. That looks really good. And so we've tapped into this. Like I said, I didn't want them to come back all the way down here. So this is what I'm thinking all the time when I'm in it, right? Like I'm thinking like I need to lock in. So nice movement. Like I said, I'm gonna move my to here to lock in the five. And again, I shouldn't do that. I should put it at the lows right there that it just formed. That's where it needs to go. Don't think about dollar values. Don't think about dollar values. Only focus on the setup. That's the important part. So we've taken this high out. I should feel comfortable moving my stop to the low here. Don't think about dollar value. It doesn't matter. Think about the trade setup and managing it, and that's all. So this is what I do, right? I literally choke it. I choke it to death, and I don't get the full run. So I'm gonna delete this buy side for now. Really? Definitely, definitely. It's high. It's definitely on my bucket list. I wanna like see and enjoy and just like I love traveling. I love traveling. I love it so much. I love it. It's like my all-time favorite thing to do in life is to travel and see new places and meet new people and make new friends. It's like amazing. It's looking good. Let's see if we can break into this fair value gap that's above. And I think this one's fresh, like we haven't tapped it or anything, so we can either push through or it can become like a inversion, but I don't know. We did take this high out. So I'm just gonna wait and see if me tracking this the way I will work out for me. If not, it's still a win in for the trade regardless. And so this is what I'm like fighting with. This is what I'm fighting with. I'm fighting with the ability to let the trades play out and not suffocate it. So I'm glad that this on-demand thing does allow me to put the trades on. It just has to be within a certain time frame. Like it wouldn't let me put it on or it did. And that's why I had 157,000 because it was a short from 2024. We've been going up. That's insane, man. That it wouldn't even show me that for 2024, but in 2025, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show you that you've lost like a stupid amount of money because the testing platform wouldn't show it to me in 2024. So this would make me super uncomfortable. I need a nice strong push up. We tap that little order block there. Nice. I'd be hoping we would be continuing up to at least give me, a little bit below half the fair value gap above here. And technically, trying to get to just the top of the fair value gap is more than enough. But when they take the highs out, they do like to push past it properly sometimes. So that's my general hope is what they're gonna do. And then we'll nip out to post FOMC because 2 o'clock, 2:30, I don't even look at it. I wait until after 2:30 and then see if something good shows up for me. But since this is the trade that would have happened in the morning, which is very annoyingly choppy, we want to see if we did try to enter in 2024. So that's why when we came back to 2025, I was like, oh yeah, you're down $157,000. We thought it didn't work. It does work. It just doesn't work in 2024 or a year past. Like you can do it for the last week or 2 weeks, maybe even the last month. But I'm glad it does work because that means all the back testing will be more real and more like what I'm used to doing. So that makes me very, very happy. Yeah, 10:35. So I don't like this down close candle. What do you think? Am I suffocating this trade by moving my stop to this low? What do you think? Because now I'm thinking, it could go higher, but I'm gonna get stopped out for less than I expect. Because I'm not looking at TradingView. I don't know if it will stop me out here. I'm just following the setup. Like you taking the high, you should leave that low alone. Keep going up if you're gonna go up. That's why my stop's there. I'm locking in profits. Ugh. Yeah, current market conditions have been really annoyingly choppy, for real. Really annoyingly choppy. And NASDAQ, like, there was one trade I was in, ES was just running, man. It was running. And NASDAQ was like, nah, I don't want to move. Dow was running, ES was running, NASDAQ was like, nah, barely give you 20 points. Nah. I was like, wow. Just wow, Nazi. Rude. So rude. Do you guys feel like that sometimes, Coach? You feel like that when NASDAQ is just being rude? She, so my partner, she keeps making this joke. You're rude. Because I'm Jamaican originally, right? Yeah, you choke it, you get stopped out early, and then you're like, I could have got my full pull. Even the second trade I took on Wednesday, I would have got my full pull. Yeah, 1190 was great. I'm thankful. Thank you so much. It's a good trade, but I could have gotten the 1300 I was looking for if I just didn't choke it. But I choked the trades. That's why we're gonna be doing this every single weekend. I'm training myself like Pavlov's dogs. I refuse. I'm not failing at this. I'm gonna get to where I need to go because I want freedom. I don't want to be stuck in this rat race. I do not. What is it, 10:37? Okay, let's hope 10:40 gives us some follow through. Because this is annoying. Sometimes Nas can just be like, "Pfft." But right now she's all like, no. But I like this. I like that it respected this. It does make me now want to move my stop here to lock in the 500. But again, I want her to take the high out before I do that. I'm trying so hard not to suffocate it. So hard. Like you see, and the problem is like, even if I don't have this open, I can see it down here and I'm watching it and I'm like, uh, ticks are better. Ticks are better. Just seeing the ticks fluctuate is much better. Seeing the dollar value fluctuate, that sucks. It really stresses me out. It really does. I mean, come on, what is this? What is it? 10:39? Come on, 10:40. Give me some movement. Look at me acting like it's a real trade because I would be doing this. This is what I would be thinking and feeling in this moment for realsies. So I'm trying to really analyze why I am unprofitable, and it's because I sabotage myself. all day, every day, sabotage myself. I don't want to see the dollar value. So most days I don't have this on. I have it like that. And I try my best not to look down because I can still see it down here. Sometimes I just look at it to see where the 500 is and then put my stop there. Because look, 540 something is here. I would have been stopped out already. Stopped out already if I put it there. I'd be happy. I got the trade. I made money, but it's not what I was looking for. Now, I don't like this. I don't like this. We've respected this wick. I don't like it. Am I going to choke it? No. I'm going to take my hands off and I either make. Exactly. We need to stop looking at the P&L. You did analysis, you know what you're looking for, you're managing the trade, the stop is in profit. Why is touch it? Technically, I shouldn't even have moved it from here. From the entry that we got here, we should have left it where we had it and just let Nazi do what she does. Win or lose. That's what we should do. That's what we should do. Because the other thing I'm thinking about is my drawdown. I'm thinking about. So here's the funny thing, right? Last week, and I think there's a certain fear of winning that I have going on in my head, right? I wait for setups. I wait all day for them and I don't take it. Good setups. Works beautifully. Don't take it. And then I take setups that aren't great. They're not A plus. They're not my A plus setup. And I get hosed. So this year I've been in the black twice. I was up like 200 or something at one point, and then 755 in the very beginning of July. And then I tanked all of that down to negative like 1900. And then exactly. Like I'm looking for this high to get taken so I can lock in, halfway to my entry. I don't like that they're being so annoying. Like, come on. Like, the fact that they didn't take this high out, like, staircase it for me, right? Staircase it. It's not that they won't go up there. They look like they're going to, but it's just 1042. So maybe 1050 is when they're going to want to move during that macro. Exactly. Exactly. So that's why I've locked some in, follow the price structure, put the stop where you're supposed to put it, and let it run. Either you get stopped out for less profit than you want, still green, or you get your TP. And yes, beautiful. So that's why we're here. That's why we're back testing. That's why we're doing this, because I keep choking it. Because look, if I had choked it because I wanted to lock in 500 and change, I would have been stopped out and I wouldn't be in still. So no, for me, I want it to push in now. And honestly, I will choke it to five something now once it gets up in there. Actually, I shouldn't even touch it. Don't touch it. Let's just let it go to your TP. Let it go. Because that's what we were hoping for. Ugh, come on, you slow so and so. 1043. So this is we're back testing on for folks. It looks like there's like four people looking right now. Just as an FYI, we are back testing on Thinkorswim using their on-demand feature, which allows you to backtest previous price action on a virtual fake account with the candles printing the way they would have printed on the day. So this is July 30th at 10:44 a.m. And Coach Carter in the chat asked to test out the potential entry option for a setup. And I was saying, like, I was bearish in the morning, so I took a short here and got stopped out, obviously. But the actual setup for this is there was sell side liquidity that they took here. And then, but this is so choppy. This is like some high resistance stuff. Oh yeah, the trade's absolutely a win because we managed our trade, we moved our stop into the most appropriate place and just let it ride, right? So for now, the only way I'm gonna move this to like one of these lower or one of these tighter lows is after we close above here with a proper candle. Otherwise, no, don't touch it. So just to recap the setup here that showed up, and this is a high resistance setup, y'all. Like this is not no low resistance fun. This is high resistance BS right here. So they swept liquidity here. They ran up. Now I had a buy side liquidity that they wicked through, just tinily wicked through. So I was looking for shorts all day on Wednesday. I was looking for shorts. So in an attempt to train myself like Pavlov's dogs to put my entry in, my order in, and just let it ride. I put it in and just let it sit. I got stopped out, but I did it just to make myself do what I'm supposed to do. But the setup that would have worked is midpoint of the wick of this order block. Now, this is a strong order block for me because this is higher, that's down. Use the wick. I usually like to take it at the wick. They're not trying to get down to the wick. So midpoint of the wick or below is a good entry spot. They came and hung out here. You would have had to deal with them pushing up, coming back down again. Ugh, annoying. But afterwards, you would have gotten a decent, like so far, they're just about 20, 25 points up here. 30 points. So we get up here, we'll be at a little over 40 points of movement, right? And so like I'm expecting a decent set of moves from 10:45 to the 11, like nice 15-minute movement, or from 11 to 11:10, like, or 11:15 for the macros to do their jobs. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to trade with micros originally. So I could take partials because I would have taken 50% off at the 500, the 20-point mark, and then let the rest run, and then see if it could even like go take the whole of this, you know? But the truth is like when you're taking partials, you're not getting as much back, but you are funding your account. Absolutely. Those are still wins for sure. But I can't take partials. That's why I moved my stop in to at least grab some money, take some of a win. Because at the level of my trading one mini, I would need to, I think I would need to have over double whatever the BP requirement is for trading Nasdaq mini, which I think is at 33,500. So I'd have to have 64K in monies on here to be able to trade two minis. And then I could take partials. Like I could lock in 500 and then see if I could get another 1,000 with the other one. But I can't. So my idea of a partial is moving my stop in to the appropriate lows and things to get to where I need to go. So this is slow. It's painful, but I'm definitely gonna get what I'm supposed to get. Now, 1048. I'd want to like lock that in at that low though. We've moved up away from it. I'm gonna lock that in right there at the low of this since we've not made any lower lows. And hope that they don't want to like come back up again. Now, do I get stopped out here for five something? For a little bit of 500s? I'm trying my best not to care about the P&L. It's the setup. But yes, if I could take partial, I would take some partials if I could. Especially if I could trade multiple contracts, because then I would definitely come on, man. Just go. But at least I get half of what I was looking for with this stop right here. So if I get stopped out here, it's definitely like a partial. If I leave the stop where I'm supposed to leave the stop, the thing is, the fact that it's struggling here doesn't make me feel very good. Like the setup for this would make me feel very uncomfortable. So that's why I would, once we moved up here, I would want to make sure that I've locked in at least halfway to the entry from here. Hmm. And I'd be looking at this point, I no joke, if I wasn't looking at here, I'd be like checking to see where my stop is. I'd be like opening up this guy active trader and scrolling down and seeing where my stop is. My stop is at 480. And then I'd want to like move it up to like 525, which is 2310. Like this is literally what I'd be doing. No joke. And that's what I'm trying to get away from. I'm trying to not. I'm trying to not. I need to blow at it. God. Come on, candle gods, you're so close. Go, go, go. I lay 1051, man. 1050. Look at that. 1050 is when it wanted to move up. Come on. Go. You've made us wait so long. You're so annoying. Why are you annoying? Just go and do it. It's just this is what trading is like. Look at that. So then seeing this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see it moving. I don't even need to move my stop now, but I would. I would want to do this. I would want to do that. This is not a logical place to put it. I want to put it right here, but I'll do that. I'll move it to under that candle and hope that we get it. Come on. You're so close. And I'd be like scrolling in like, come on. Don't be an ass, Nazzy. Just take it. Oh, and then it would do that. And then I'd be like, come on, man. Like, so rude. You don't need to come back down here. You're in the fair value gap. Just go. This is what I would be saying to myself. Like, this feels like I'm actually trading this for real, which is great. I'm so grateful in this moment that this is a feature on here. And then like this is like 1,000. I'm like, you're a couple of ticks away. You can push up one more time. Quit playing. Stop it. Stop it, Nancy. Stop it. Just take it. It's literally what I would be thinking. Just take it. It's like right there. I am even not even going for the midpoint of this fair value gap, just a little bit below it. Just take it. It's juicy. It's red. It's right there. You can do it. And they say to us, like as traders, like don't be so emotional. Don't this, don't that, blah blah blah. I'm like, brah, you're playing with my emotions right now. You finally jammed in here. You finally moved. You can do a couple more ticks. You can. NASDAQ, you are like the best moving thing on the planet as far as I'm concerned, because I think you move amazing. When you drop like a. But I am taking this low. I'm not joking. I really want to move it to here. I really want it, but it's so close. And you know what's funny? Like I've had moments where I'm like, right, it's like a couple ticks away from my stop. And I'm so stubborn. What do they call it? Don't be a dick for a tick. Yeah, yeah. That's what this feels like. Like I feel like I should, lock in more because it's so close to my TP. But this is what I'm trying to work through. Don't touch it. Let it go. And if it doesn't do it, take what you got. It's okay. Hmm. Seriously, I really just want to move this up. It's just so hard. Come on. You can just wick it. Just, just, come on. You can do it. There it is. Come on. So this is where when the candle's being an up close candle like that, and it's got 5 seconds left in it, this is where I want to just be like this. I want to do that. That's where I want to do that. I'm like, come on. Why do you always have to play with our emotions like that? Like, just go. So there's no Fair Valley gap here. This took the high out. I am absolute. This is where I want to move the stop so bad, but I should not touch it. Leave the stop where it is and just let the trade finish. It's so hard. Come on. 20 seconds left in this count. Just push up a few more ticks. You're so annoying. So annoying. So this is where I'm like, okay. And voila. There we go. And then we would have made, let's close that, 10,040 on that trade. But god dang, how long did it take to get there, man? How long did we sit and wait for this BS, to this slow ass BS to play out? Ugh, that hurt my heart. Plays with our emotions and patience. Come on. Anyway, so that would have been a good trade. So that's the setup that would have worked pre FOMC. All right, let's nip out of here and let's do one more for the PM. So this is July 30, and we're going to do post FOMC. So I don't trade at 2 o'clock. I don't trade at 2:30. So we're gonna go to 14, right? My neck is like so like. So let's go to 2:35. Let's go to 2:35. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. All right. So let's see here. This is July 30th, 2:35 after FOMC. Now, what would I be looking for in here? Because we're pushing up. So, as always, I'm looking for some sort of shift. Where's the nearest 15-minute shift? Eh, eh. I mean, that the highs, I guess. But it's not quite what I'm hoping to see. Let's see if there's something more obvious on the 5-minute for a shift that we can work with. So there's this high right here. Let's duplicate that. So I like the 15-minute, but sometimes when I can't see anything else, I need to look elsewhere. So at different time frames. So let's look at this. And then this will be it. And then we'll close this backtesting session out for today. So it's 2:35 and I'm looking for something to get taken out. So we have some liquidity got swept there. We had a little shift here. I don't like that shift. Like I need it to be a little bit more. And we're going to take this off because I don't want to. Yeah. So I'm going to take that off right there. So I want like a proper shift, and then I want to maybe write it down to somewhere down here. Because this is like a slight shift. for that, but I want to see something a little bit more. So this is the shift right here. So I like that. So what I would normally do is do a sell here. This is what I'm trying to remember to do. So let's do a sell here and then let's push that down. So I don't know if it's the right, but it is a shift, and we can finally see my limit order and stop and all that stuff. All right, so they've pushed. They've pushed, and the only chance, they haven't given me a chance to get in on this action. So we have equal lows down here. That's a really good spot to exit at. So right now, it's looking decent. We have no real fair value gap up here. My stop was here, so it doesn't cover the highs, but I do like that they've kind of wicked through everything. So my next entry option is if this up close candle closes, then I will take I'll take the short from that up close candle, that order block. So, but for now, we got nothing. We have no fair value gaps in here. We probably have, look at them, volume imbalances. So they tapped into theirs. Probably no need for them to come back up into it. So what I would like is for this to actually close and then a down close candle, and then I'll move my entry here because I'd want an entry here with this shift. Some liquidity's been swept here, so we're waiting. 240. So most times, like, movement's gonna happen at 240, 245, something like that. So I'm just waiting. So we have plenty of liquidity down here, but I'm hoping that that's enough, I think. And it's a nice looking shift. We've taken that out. As long as they don't just run away, you know? Well, so I find that like 2 o'clock, yes, that's too much volatility. 2:30, after 2:30, it tends to calm down, and then setups will show up. So I'm basically looking for the trade I took. So I got a nice short out of this setup, a really nice short on Wednesday. But this is where I would have wanted my entry. But remember, I said I have two entries. Either if they left a fair value gap here, then my entry would be here. There's no fair value gap here. So I'm hoping they'll come back up and then maybe tap the base of this or give me a down close candle. Sorry, an up close candle here. So I can use that as an entry for a continuation down. So the other thing is they could just run away for all we know. It's 241. So I'm just waiting. And it's been a very much just up and away day. So I am most interested in a short if they give us an opportunity for one. But I did spec out this 15-minute low, so I really should try and take it there. Might be a spot where I move my stop and then just pull this back down. But let's see, how do we get in here? We haven't gotten anything to work with yet. All right. We got an up close candle. We don't have any fair value gaps. Any more? Let's see, any more volume imbalances? Tiny one, tiny one. Yeah, so I'm checking to see if this is going to be a chance for me to get in. Move my entry. Still's got like 20 seconds to go on that one. So what I want to see is them return up here and then give me an opportunity to get in. They haven't swept that. That makes me feel a bit better too. So we have a shift and we've got these guys. So let's wait and see what we get up here. And oh, sell side's actually way down here. There's equal lows here that I'm kind of interested in, but I feel like they've been going up and it's been so choppy that, I should look for more, but I have a tendency to go for equal lows. So sell side's down here. So yeah, you know what? Let's shoot for more. Let's shoot for more. So we did get a shift. Let's see if we get some sort of entry that works. Got this guy. That's gone up. Let's see. If I were to put a fib on this, because once I see a down close candle on that now, okay, we're at the 50%. There's no fair value gap. So I think the entry should be at the base of this candle, technically. Or use the wick. Nah, let's put it back to where we wanted to. I always like overthink, I swear to God, I overthink it. Leave it at the double bottom. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the double bottom. All right. Because the double bottom makes a lot of sense and it's good. So I like this. So I'm going to set my thing here and see if we can't get that entry right there. So I like the rejection off of the order block. So we're in. Not gonna lie, that sound terrifies me. Oh man, that sound terrifies me because I've lost so much to that sound. Just getting my ass handed to me on a regular basis. It's a terrible entry. Why did I do that? Why didn't I leave my entry where it was? Because I just got stopped out for no good reason. Why is it not? I just got stopped out for no good reason. Why did I do that? See, that's what happens to me sometimes. Like I just do that, and it's just you're seeing my bad habits like live right there. You're seeing my bad habits live. You're seeing them live. Dang, how long we been going? Almost 3 hours? Dang. So I think what I did actually was wait for this to drop and then I took it here, not the other way around. Silly me. It was a bit early and my stop was pretty much crap. So I wanted this entry, and I think this is a good place for the entry, right? Yeah. So I think what I did was this. This is the trade I took. It's like I waited for this to drop, and then I did the sell. How many seconds? 10. Yeah. So I that's what I did. That's what I did. And then I was running it down to there. That's what I did. I'm like, what? How did I? Because I got in. Yes, stick to the plan. So that's how I see how easy it is for me to get messed up there. So it tapped me but didn't tag me. So that's what I did when I took the entry on Wednesday for the good trade I took. But also this entry would have worked just fine too. Okay, so now I'm in and let's see if we can't get some follow through now. Because on the higher time frame, there was some Exactly. Stick to the plan. And that's what happens when I'm trying to rush it. No, I entered at the base of this candle because the other option for the entry was the base of this candle, this order block, because you see this big wick up here? There's no need for them to come up to the other one. So I should have just taken the entry here. But because I was, scared, I took it here instead. So this is the live trade I took um on Wednesday for 1190. So let's take a look at where my given my entry, let's take a look at where my TP and stuff is. Because I made 1190 on that short. So I got to make sure I make 1190 on this short. The heck? The limit order is much higher. What? I can't tell. It's not showing me the limit order. Whatever. So this is the short I got when they were like just bleeding down, which was awesome. So at this point, I need them to take this low out so I can move my stop. Drop 425. So once it dropped, I was just like, come on, go, 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 go. So it's at 740. There's no way in hell I'd want to take a loss on this. So I would just move it to here, just a little bit below the entry point, which is at the base of this candle, and hope that they want to continue dropping. And then take my hands off of it, right? And then, come down and hope they drop. Because they've already gone up, they've taken liquidity, this was a shift. As in hindsight, excuse me, my entry should have been at the base of this. Or zoom in. Because of that wick, my entry should have been at the base or right at this volume imbalance right here for the short. That's where it should have been. But because I'm always so very like insane about it. And I should have my screenshot. Have you snapped this on what? Yeah, I did. It's in my journal. So this was a good setup that I took on my journal. So for this one now, I'm like, it's a strong candle. I want to move my stop in to like lock it in. This is what I did, right? I suffocated the hell out of it. Like it dropped. I should have left my stop here. And then I would have gotten the full pull because I ended up getting 190. I think it like hesitated right around here. And then like a little up close candle, tap, tap, and then, so I got so like, this is where I was like choking it. I choked it here. But I had it at the double bottom and I should have just let it run. Right? I should just let it run, but I choked it right around in this space because the second candle, like it was doing this and I was like, oh, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get all of it. I think it went to like 1300 or something. And then I choked it and then I missed the rest of the run. But like, this is not an order block. Like technically I should not even touch my stop, right? Like it's so close to my TP. I should just leave it alone. Like my entry's here, should leave it above this. And definitely don't have a stop right in the middle of a fair value gap. That's insane. You know what I mean? Like, what am I thinking? So my entry was at the body, the base of the body here, for sure. And as we know, they do absolutely drop lower. Um, but choking the trade and not letting it get to where it needs to go is definitely a problem that I have, for sure. For sure. This is a terrible place for a stop. Like, I would have it above the candle that makes this fair value gap. That's where the stop needs to be. And then once it leaves this low, then I can like move it down. So this is what I need to be doing. Like once it leaves here, then I know it's probably not going to come back up here, at least not at the moment. Then I can get more of the run. But you look at that P&L, man, and you're like, oh, 975, 980, $1,000. Oh my God, I gotta lock it in. Hmm. Yeah. This is around where I choked it, you know, when it hit 1190. Like I choked the hell out of it. And it went to 1300. I mean, you can get the full pull. Just take your hands off the wheel and just let it do its job. Just let it do its job. But they love to tease you though. You see that? Oh, I'm gonna stop here. I'm not gonna quite get there. But once I get over $1,000, I like to lock that thousand in because I feel good about that trade regardless. You know what I'm saying? I feel good about that trade regardless. I mean, it's like 1265, 1240. So this is where I was when I like got 1190 and it like this is yeah, like I was right here and I got ticked out right here. So again, don't touch it. Leave your stop at a decent place. You're still gonna make money, but it's gonna drop. This is what I should have done. The bearish volume was epic. Was epic. Epic. So that means that like even though I was just aiming for that, I could have gotten that more. But all I needed to do was just let it sit. It hadn't taken the equal lows out. It was going there. But they like to pause and play with your emotions and be irritating. But I'm still happy with the trade. 1190 is a good take profit, and it took care of my um what was it? My 185 loss in the morning. So still happy with it. And then look at that. Look at that. Just before 3 o'clock, just drop, just give me the whole full pull. Would have gotten it. And, so I'm happy. I'm still in drawdown about 875. But if I continue to just do what I'm supposed to do and don't fight it, I'd be fine. That's it. Be fine. It's so close. Just go, man. And then after this, I'm gonna close this live out, this backtesting session out. 3 hours, y'all. I said we're gonna like do this right. We're gonna follow this process. We're gonna just just let it ride. Come on, push through more. It did tap it though. Like it pushed through it. But this is like a demo front space. So it tapped through it. So it would have closed it, but it hasn't closed it yet on this one. But yeah, look at that. Good setup. Sweep, shift, and enter. That's all I need. Sweep, shift, enter. And then there we go. Maddie, oops. Oh no, you fell. Her baby. Oh, Maddie tried to jump on it. She didn't get it. Yeah, that pullback is painful. All right, so, and then it just kept dropping. Look at that. All right, so perfect time to end this and start fresh. Maddie the baddie has joined us, and she is gorgeous, right, my baby? So she is gorgeous, and she's come to nap on my lap. Good. All right, Coach. Thanks for hanging out, and have an awesome rest of your weekend. And good luck this week trading. I'll be back next week, back testing the same way yet again. Be safe. Shakira out.